Hey guys, in this video I'm going to show you how to very quickly create a landing page in Mailchimp. Landing pages are a really great way to direct traffic in a very specific manner when you're either promoting something on social media in a free format or running paid ads on search engines or on social media. But either way, when you want your audience to focus on something specific, rid of any other distractions that you would typically have on your main site. For example, if you're promoting a specific product, but you want to see how many people will actually, purchase or show interest in that product without distracting them with your other services, then a landing page is a great option. So first of all, to start off, I'm going to go over here to where my icon is, and I'm going to click on the dashboard icon. Now, right up here at the top, you're going to see a button that says Create Campaign. You're going to click that, and we're going to select Landing Page. Now, you can just call your landing page anything. Usually you want something that indicates when you're creating the landing page or what the campaign is about. So if it's a campaign to, for example, promote a specific product in a specific month or for a holiday, so like a Black Friday t-shirt sale, you might want to call it that with the year. So, Black Friday 2020 landing page. But again, this isn't something that your customers or your visitors will see. This is just for internal use. So I'm going to go ahead and put that there, and then I'm going to choose my audience, which is going to be just the only list I have here, and hit begin. Right up here, you'll see a number of options for layout. So if you've got a specific product that goes straight to purchase here, so for example in retail, if you've got something that someone can buy, or if you're a food delivery business and you want to push a specific dish, this option might be really nice for you. But maybe your product comes at a higher price point, or it needs to be customized and it needs a interaction with the customer, like a callback, then you probably want to use a lead generation page. So it'd be one of these three. So in this example, I'm going to act as if I'm a metal fabrication company that does custom cut metal. And so I'm going to use this lead generation page here, the first one. It doesn't really matter which one you use, but I like this layout, at least for this example, so I'm going to use that. So first of all, you can go down and kind of explore what the page layout is. Now, I don't think I have enough images to really fill everything up, but I'm going to try my best here, and I'm going to leave all of the sample text and everything there right now, and I'll kind of demonstrate how we can expand this lead form to collect more information. Before we move on, first of all, I do want to say that Mailchimp doesn't seem ideal for this purpose. Mailchimp, like its emails, doesn't allow a lot of flexibility in the design part of it. You can kind of replace images, but there isn't a lot of layout stuff you can do. So just keep that in mind. There are better options out there, and I can go over those in future videos. But for now, we're in Mailchimp. I'm a big Mailchimp fan in general, just not of this one feature, but I'm going to go ahead and show you how we can make the best of that. So first of all, obviously, like I said, I'm a metal fabrication company. I don't want this outdoorsy image. So the first thing I'm going to do is, hovering over the image, you'll see this little thing pop up on the bottom. I'm going to go to image, and I've actually got an image ready to go right here. And I'll show you what the original actually looks like. Let me go ahead and re-upload that. So just to demonstrate this, I've got the original image right here. Now I'm going to click it, and I'm going to insert it for now just to kind of show you what happens. Now, like I said, if you're a company that has custom cut metal and there was a particular feature in this image that you wanted to show, and in my example, I really wanted to show this kind of screen here on the right side, but it's kind of cut off in the photo. So in order to crop that, I'm going to have to go back to image again and then click the image, and then down here, or up here, I'm going to click on the down arrow and hit edit image. Now, when this pops up, it's going to load my image. It just gives me a little warning about the size, so it's going to go ahead and resize it, which I don't mind. And then you can start to crop. Now, as you can see, it's kind of locking the dimensions of the page, so of the image, I mean. What you need to do first is actually unlock the dimensions here, so uncheck this here, and then now it'll let me actually grab that corner, and that way I can demonstrate this, or I can show this screen more. And I'm going to hit save there, and then there you go. Now I've got it there, and I can just insert it into the slot, and there you go. So now I've got this image changed out over here. I'm gonna hop up here and click the logo and then replace the logo. Now I've got a dark version of the logo already right here. So I'm gonna click that, insert. And then as you can see, it kind of appeared huge. So I'm just gonna make that a little bit smaller. And then now I can start to edit some of the other elements of the page. First of all, the title, if I want to change that out. Okay, and as you can see, it's got some coding in there, so I don't really want to mess with any of this, because if I backspace this and whatever, I don't want to mess up anything. So I'm gonna go up to here to the to these two little brackets here and edit it within the code. Now, this looks a little advanced, so don't get too scared by this. All I'm looking for is the word wild and the word country, and I'm just gonna replace them, say, with the words my and then product. And I think, actually I know, because I do know HTML, is that they've got a header tag in here that helps you go back to the top when you're anywhere down here. So they probably have like a back to top button or something that you can link to that takes your page to the top, that I don't really want to mess with. So I'm not gonna touch that right now. Like I said, I'm not too familiar with or too comfortable with Mailchimp's landing page format, but because I just don't want to mess with that right now, I'm going to leave it alone and then just hit save and close. So that's a good heading I have in there. And then I'm just going to add in a little text just to explain, and just say, you know, something like, hey, if you're interested in my product, please fill out the form below, and a member of my team will get in touch with you shortly. And now you are working on your lead form. So here you can see that it's already pre-populated with email address. I'm going to go ahead and click that, and then it pops up other fields that I can possibly put in. I am going to check first name, last name. I don't really need to know their address right now, and here's the thing. You do want to build as thorough of a customer profile as possible, but at the same time, you don't want to scare them away by putting too many fields. So you got to keep it as simple as possible. So I'm going to put first name, last name, phone number, because that's one way you can get back to them is by calling them, and it's probably the quickest way to gather information from them. And then I'm going to make those fields required. Actually, I'm going to make phone number and first name required, because I think first names are nice. You don't always have to have their full name, so we won't require that. And then, of course, I don't need their birthday right now, and you can choose whether you want to do that over the phone. And then there's like a confirmation message and some other things that you can put in. I'm not going to mess with this right now. What you can also do is put a web address. So for example, when they fill out the form, I can have them just go to my website. Now, I don't advise this. Usually what you want to do is link not straight to the home page, but maybe to a thank you page where it's got a video about your product or something like that. And as I always say, if you need help with this, just go ahead and comment in the comment section below. And while I'm at it, I might as well say that, hey, if you find my videos helpful, please like the video, subscribe to my channel, and don't forget to ring the bell for notifications. Carrying on. I'm going to go ahead and save this. Of course, I have it linked to my home page. Again, I don't recommend that, but I'm going to go ahead and do it and hit save and close. And so now I've got a nice lead form here where it shows email address, first name, last name, phone number. Now, just to show you, you can do some things here. So what I like is having a subscribe or a submit button. Oh, that's the other thing. Okay, so this is not a subscription, right? You can put something like call me back, or get in touch rather. Yeah, because we're not asking them to call us back, we're asking to call them. So that's it. And then another thing I like to do here is always assure my people that your info is safe with us, you know, and just let them know that you're not going to sell their information or anything like that, that you're using it specifically for the purpose that's intended by this page. Now, as you can see, my lead form goes a little bit below the fold. And so I'm just going to make this like little padding section a little bit smaller. So there was an invisible section here that was in the template. I'm going to make that about 60 pixels tall, just to kind of shorten that up a little bit. And now you have a nice tighter format, not too much white space, and I like it like that. So now going back to the form, I clicked on it, go to style, and one more trick that you can play that I like is down on the button style, you can actually fill the button. Where is it? Okay, there we go, background. with some color. And what this does is it makes the button pop a little bit. And just to kind of jive with the theme, I'm going to go with kind of an orange brownish color just because of the way all this looks. Now, as you can see, the brown with the black text doesn't look too good. Let's see, what did I do? Oh, there it is. Okay. I can just change the text color to that color, and then I'm going to make the border just match the fill as well. So I'm going to take that background color, the hex color that it gave me there, and I'm going to paste it here so it matches, and hit enter. And there we go. Now I have a nice clean button. Oh dear. Okay. Just not going to worry about that right now. So go ahead and save and close, but that's how you can change the color. I don't like that the border stays brown even when I hover, but I'm not going to mess too much with the settings. I kind of want to fly through this quickly for you. Here is where you can add additional text about your business. I would recommend putting something that's a little bit eye-catching, saying something about, like, let's just say I'm going back to my metal fabrication that I was talking about earlier. You probably want to talk a little bit about your method or why your product is the best, or maybe some of your credentials. And then down here, you can give 3 examples. So not only do we do these kind of architectural privacy screens, and I'm going to go ahead and place the image back in. Now, I'm not figuring out how to actually go back to my original one here, so I'm just going to go ahead and re-upload the image again, the one of the whole bathroom, because now I've got something that's in a little bit more of a horizontal format. So I'm going to upload that photo again, and then insert it into the spot that I have here. And then in the next slot, column 2, I'm going to replace this image with another type of screen that I have. That's a like kind of a fencing screen. And then in the third column, I can put the stairs, for example. And then in the page itself, now all these had pretty similar dimensions, so they line up really nicely. That's another thing. If you have square images, make sure they're all square. If you have them in this kind of longer kind of 4x3 format, I think it is, make sure they're all in that same format so that all these lines and this text look nice and even. And then you want to modify the text to match what's up here. All right, so once I've got these 3 populated here, we can move on, and in the last section, maybe talk a little bit about your method. So what I'll do here is I'll just replace this image. Now, just let me jump back real quick. You see here that this is more of a square image. What you want to do is when you replace it, just keep that in mind if you want it to still sort of maintain this look. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to upload an image real quick. And this is a really cool image of a CNC machine, cutting metal, in the middle of cutting metal. And so I'm going to go ahead and again go up to edit image. And this time when I crop it, I'm going to hit the square button here. And what this will do is it'll keep the dimension square, as you can see. So I'm just going to align it a little bit so you can see what it's, some of the designs it's already cut. Plus you see all these awesome sparks flying everywhere. So that's nice and exciting. And so I'm going to go ahead and save that and then insert it. And boom, you've got a really cool picture there of the metal cutting going on. And then you've got some space here where you can quickly describe in a few words or in a few sentences your method of, your product. And then moving on, finally, there is another kind of area where you've got this image again. I wouldn't recommend really using the same image twice, but I'm just going to go ahead and do it anyway. And right here, once again, just replace with your product name, and then maybe talk some more about your whatever you're selling, or maybe your company or whatever. I'm just going to paste it a bunch of times here so you can see what that looks like with a little more text. And then down here, instead of get a quote, really, you can put anything, but what this did is, as you can see, okay, here it is. So you see how it says, it says hash header, or number sign and then header. What that does is that's a tag that allows you to link to the top of the page. So I'm going to show you what that looks like. So you see the hash header here. I'm going to save and close that, and then go right back up to here where I had my title here. And then when I go and edit it in code, you'll see that they've named this section header. Okay, and that's why when you're not in the code view, you can see that little flag, And it's because that flag is an indicator of we have a, what they call it, an A tag here, or an anchor tag. Actually, it's called an anchor tag, and so that's an A tag that's been put there so that you can link to that part of the page. And so when I preview this, you'll see that when I click this, it'll actually take me back to the top where I can get in touch. Well, I'm not asking to get a quote in this case, so I'm going to correct that and put a request a callback. And that way someone can click up here and then be able to fill out the form. Okay, and then lastly, Mailchimp just kind of lets you edit this section. Not really. Because I'm not a paid account, it won't let me disable it. So you have to keep it there. So it'll let you choose whether you want it in white or black. And then the other thing I would do is, since we're already here, what I would do is probably put in a spacer here. So put a divider in right below here, and I will remove the border so I don't have that line inside. And then maybe make it like 100 pixel padding there. Save and close. Add a text one below that spacer, so right at the bottom of this again. Put the name of your company, company name, company name, bold, and then maybe your address, and of course phone number. And then if you really want to, you can even stick your logo in there. So you can drop an image block in there and then drop your logo in. So you've got it again, sort of toward the bottom. And then like I did before, you can make it small. So as you can see, it actually appears here in the middle. So we're gonna go over to settings and align it to the left. And then of course, constrain portions to double like I've done before. So if you've got a pretty large image, it'll help the image look sharp. And so going through actually to even our other logo that we had here, you probably want to do the same. Save that. So that's pretty much it. Then the next step is to save and close. And then let's take a look at a preview of the page. If I start to click these fields, you'll see that it'll show me which ones are required and which ones are not. You can see that email, first name, and phone number are required, and this one isn't. And I'm not going to fill it out just yet. The rest of the page looks good. And once again, if I click this, it takes me to the top of the page. So that's kind of a little bit of HTML magic that it did there. And the beautiful part about this is that it also generates a mobile version. So the mobile version will look really nice and clean on a mobile screen. And it's got all the information there, looking nice. So I can just close this. Okay, and the next thing you want to do is create, because this is an actual HTML page, you kind of want to, say what it is. My product, metal company, or metal fab company, and then hit save, and then my URL. Now you can use a Mailchimp URL, and this doesn't really matter. So if you're using it for some of your campaigns, you can have it actually just link to this link, and it doesn't really need to link to your home page. And that's probably better it doesn't link to your main site, because you don't want the analytics of your site getting kind of thrown off by a ad campaign. And I'll explain more of that in a future video about landing page theory. But the whole fundamental idea behind it is to pull traffic off of your main site. So you don't want to direct them all to your main domain where you've got tracking set up. It's better just to use Mailchimp's domain or set up a custom domain with a subdomain or something like that. So I'm going to go ahead and set this up and just call it Herschel Metal and hit save. There's some other options I can do here. So I just got to accept the terms here. And so I don't have these two set up yet, so I'm not going to do that. I'm going to kind of ignore this CCPA stuff for now. You may want to read a little bit more into it if it pertains to you, but I'm going to go ahead and save that and publish it. And now we can actually see the page in real life. And so it gives you this whole cookie warning down here. We can just go ahead and dismiss that, no big deal. And I'm just going to go ahead and put in some information and then hit get in touch. And just as I set it up, it actually goes to my website. So of course, like I said, you probably want to send it to some kind of thank you page or something like that, but that's set up to do that already. All right, so guys, I have the link to this page in my description. So if you want to see it, I'll just leave it up. It's no big deal. Fill it out, do what you want. But if you found this video helpful, please don't forget to like the video, subscribe to my channel, and of course, hit the bell for notifications. And if you have any questions at all, please comment in the comment section below. Thank you.